Hello everyone and welcome to a bit of a different video. Today what we are doing is we are going to be ranking WrestleManias. Every single WrestleMania from number 1 to 41. They're all going to be ranked. So here we go. We're going to do it. We're going to do it, boys. We're going to do it every WrestleMania. Now that WrestleMania 41 is in the books, we can do this. So we're going to finally rank every WrestleMania. So, oh boy, here we go. You know what? No more preamble. Let's just get into it. So, WrestleMania 1. For what it does, this should be about a B, I think. Because, okay, well, let's look at the card, because that's how we're going to look at this. We're going to look at this WrestleManias in terms of impact. How does this, change things for the future of wrestling and stuff like that? And also just, is it a good card in general? I mean, really? And I'm not the only one who said this. WrestleMania 1 is pretty much just a glorified MSG house show. But we do have the whole, of course, main event, Hulk Hogan, Mr. T with Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff. That's iconic. We got Cyndi Lauper involved in this WrestleMania. So the whole rock and wrestling thing was starting to go at this point. The Body Slam Challenge with Andre and Big John Studd. There's a tag team title match with the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov and the US Express. Junkyard Dog versus Greg Valentine for the IC title. Brutus Beefcake versus David Sammartino in a double DQ. I mean, I don't care about that. Ricky Steamboat and Matt Bourne. That's another one. King Kong Bundy defeated Special Delivery Jones in a 9-second squash. And Tito Santana defeating the Executioner. So, match card wise, we're not looking at anything too crazy. But just for the spectacle and what this does, I think I might have to put it just in B just for that alone. Because it is the first one. So it gets a pass there. So B is what it gets. Nothing higher. WrestleMania 2. You want to talk about a poor sequel. We got WrestleMania 2, and this is the one where they decided to hold it from 3 separate locations. Whoever thought of that idea, fire them. That's awful. So we have Paul Orndorff versus the Magnificent Morocco, which I did in a double count out. Randy Savage beating George Steele for the IC title. Like I ever want to see Randy Savage fight George Steele. Jake Roberts defeated George Wells, and then Mr. T defeated Roddy Piper by DQ in a boxing match. Because if there's one thing I love in my professional wrestling, it's a fake boxing match. Fabulous Moolah retained the women's title. Nikolai Volkov and Corporal Kirchner in a flag match. Andre the Giant won a WWE versus NFL Battle Royal. Oh, freaking boy. The Rich Bulldogs retained the tag titles against the Dream Team. And then the final event at LA, which is Ricky Steamboat versus Hercules Hernandez, Adrian Adonis defeating Uncle Elmer, Terry and Haas Funk defeating Tito Santana the Junkyard Dog, and Hulk Hogan defeating King Kong Bundy in a steel cage match. King Kong Bundy versus Hulk Hogan isn't actually a bad match. It's like fine, whatever, but this WrestleMania can go there. It's D tier. It ain't good. It's not a good WrestleMania at all. There's nothing about this WrestleMania I ever am like, oh boy, I can't wait to go back to and watch. Maybe the Hogan vs. Bundy cage if I feel nostalgic. If I'm like, I want to see some good old Hulkamania. Then I'll maybe put that on. But there's way better Hulkamania moments. WrestleMania 2, it's not a good one. WrestleMania 3 is actually also not that good. Because this WrestleMania relies solely on this moment, Hulk and Andre, and Savage and Steamboat. That's all this relies on. That is literally all this WrestleMania relies on, because other than that, bro, I got fucking nothing for you. I got nothing for you. So, even though Hogan and Andre is not a good match, and it's just there for the moment, it is like an iconic wrestling moment, so I will put it up above WrestleMania 2, and then Savage and Steamboat is, an all-timer. So, C, right there. That's where it goes. It's above WrestleMania 2, but just barely. WrestleMania 4 with the freaking night-long tournament. Can also go in D. It's not a good WrestleMania. I mean, props to Savage for winning the title. That's always good. That's always nice to see. But goddamn, man, this WrestleMania is not freaking good. Watching this one is hurt. It really hurt. So it's gonna go there. Is it actually? I would say it is better than WrestleMania 2, but that's not saying much. WrestleMania 5, where the Mega Powers explode. So it gets instantly at least in C tier for the Mega Powers, because that's at least a good match. Looking at the rest of the card. Rick Rude vs. Warrior, yeah, that's a pretty okay one. But I think that might be it for this card. I'm looking through, guys, and I believe this is, oh, wait, I think this is also the WrestleMania where Rick Martel turns against Tito, isn't it? I think this is, hold up. This is the WrestleMania where Rick Martel turns heel. Okay, so it has that going for it. So yeah, this is better than WrestleMania 3. It has the Mega Powers exploding, which is a huge angle. Rick Martel turns heel, and we have Rick Rude versus Ultimate Warrior. So yeah, I will put WrestleMania 5 over WrestleMania 3. WrestleMania 6. This has got Hogan versus Warrior in the, well, it's supposed to be passing of the torch, but wasn't actually passing of the torch because Hogan just came back on the belt away. Anyway, because the Ultimate Warrior experiment did not work. Besides that, I think once again, boys, we got a dud. Yeah, we got a dud here. So besides that, WrestleMania 6 doesn't offer much, so it's gonna go in C tier again. It's a one-match card. Next up, we have WrestleMania 7. Let's see. What else is on WrestleMania 7? I think WrestleMania 7 might be another one-match card, boys. Oh no, this was the first Undertaker Mania. Okay. And then, yeah, oh yeah, no, this has Warrior and Savage retirement match, which is good. Big Boss Man defeating Mr. Perfect, Legion of Doom, Power of Glory. Oh, this is when Virgil beats Ted? Okay. And then Hulk Hogan for Slaughter. So this WrestleMania does have a lot more. So I would say top of C tier then, this WrestleMania. Top of C tier. Okay, you guys get top of C tier. Because you have Warrior Savage retirement match, which is good. This is the one where Virgil breaks away from Ted DiBiase and Hulk Hogan defending USA from the Iraqi sympathizer, which I don't actually hate as much as other people do. How it's just middle of a war, dude. We were coming off a war. I can understand their whole thought behind it. WrestleMania 8. Okay, this is the one that is the completely wrong main event. So let's see. Undertaker defeats Jake Roberts. Oh, this is Bret Hart and Roddy Piper. Yeah, this is a good one. Randy Savage was Ric Flair, which should have main evented. And then the bad main event of Hogan versus Sid. Better than 6. Better than 3? Yes. I would say yes. Is it better than 5? Yes. But not better than 7. These early WrestleManias are like really hard, dude. Like they're really hard to watch at times. They are really hard to watch at times. WrestleMania 9. Oh, this is easy. That's easy. Screw that finish, man. WrestleMania 10. WrestleMania 10. Owen Hart versus Bret. Yes, of course. And this is where Bret wins the title. We have the match with Lex Luger and Yoko, where Lex Luger loses. Razor Ramon and Shawn in the ladder match. Yeah, so this is actually a pretty solid Mania. Again, though, I would say upper C tier. I'm going to actually move WrestleMania 1 down to C tier and put it there. That's where WrestleMania 1 goes. Because looking at this, I'm like, ugh. Yeah, but WrestleMania 10, I would say up C tier because Shawn and Razor's good. That's awesome. Bret and Owen is obviously good. Brett winning the title is a good moment. I don't think the match with Yoko is anything good. And Yoko versus Lex again is nothing too good. So I think that's where we're going. Over there. And this was, oh yeah, this was also Macho Man's last ever WrestleMania. And the last time he was ever with the company for freaking forever. Yeah, C tier I think is where we're going to go WrestleMania 10. WrestleMania 11. Oh, I think I can already put this one right there. Well, let's see. Razor Ramon and Jeff Jarrett for the IC belt. That's not actually bad. Undertaker versus King Kong is whatever. That's whatever. Bret Hart vs. Bob is, I don't think, as good as people say it is. Diesel vs. Shawn is not bad. Just the main event sucks. So I think WrestleMania 11 is better, is the best out of these worst WrestleManias. That's what I say. And then after WrestleMania 11, we got In Your Houses. WrestleMania 12, baby. Okay, oh, this is the Hollywood Backlot Brawl. Oh, God. Oh, this is where Warrior squashed Hunter. Undertaker versus Diesel. This is the first time the Undertaker had a WrestleMania match that actually had substance. And Shawn versus Bret. The Iron Man match is boring as hell. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will put this here. That's where it goes. I'm sorry. The Iron Man match, it's boring as hell. It's like watching it, like, when I watched it the first time, not knowing the results, I'm like, whoa, that's cool. Every other time I try and watch it, I'm like, God, this is boring because I know none of you are getting points. WrestleMania 13. It's got Steve versus Brett, which is the only saving grace. So I would put it there. Because Steve versus Brett just makes it better than anything. Like, seriously. No, though, I'll put WrestleMania 13 there. But, like, yeah, this is a one-match card. This is such a one-match card. WrestleMania 14. Okay, we're entering Attitude Era now. So, of course, we got Steve's coronation, which is just fantastic. I love that. That is perfect. Triple H versus Owen Hart for the European title is... it's okay. Oh, this has Sable and Mark Mero beating Goldust and Luna. Mark Mero gets outshone by his wife. The Rock and Ken Shamrock is whatever. The dumpster match is fun. And Undertaker vs. Kane's fun. So, I say high C tier. There's WrestleMania 14. I think that's where we go. We haven't got out of C tier. Can we get out of C tier? WrestleMania 15? Let's see. I don't think so. Stone Cold vs. The Rock is great. I could just say that right now. Triple H versus Kane, Shane McMahon versus X-Pac. Oh yeah, The Undertaker hangs Big Boss Man. Yeah, we're not getting out of C tier with this one, but we are definitely going into the highest C tier with this one. WrestleMania 16. Oh yeah, we're definitely not getting out of C tier. Thankfully, this has the Hardcore Battle Royal, which is awesome as all hell. I love the Hardcore Battle Royale. The Triangle Ladder match, which is like TLC 0, is fantastic. I've watched that match so many times. The 2-fall triple threat for the IC and European titles, I think, is actually pretty good. And then the McMahon in every corner match, I have a guilty pleasure for that one. So, you're gonna call me weird. I'll put this WrestleMania in B tier. WrestleMania 16 goes in B tier for me. Because I used to watch this WrestleMania a lot as a grown up. Because it was the first one we had on DVD. Because the first 15 we had on cassette. And this was the first WrestleMania that we had on DVD. So I would watch that a lot. WrestleMania 17, I mean, we already know. S tier, do I need to explain myself? Do I need to explain myself? WrestleMania 18. This is another great one, I think. RVD versus William Regal is great. DDP and Christian is fun. Maven and Goldust. Okay, that one's kind of... yeah. Kurt Angle and Kane's alright. Undertaker versus Ric Flair is great. I love that match. Edge versus Booker T is Stone Cold versus Scott Hall's The Four Corners Elimination match for the tag titles. That's fun. The Rock and Hogan should have been the main event. Jazz, the triple threat for the women's titles, okay. And Triple H defeating Jericho was fine for what it was. I think WrestleMania 18 gets an A for me. I will put it in A. It's a solid WrestleMania that I can rewatch. WrestleMania 19, that's another S. I love WrestleMania 19. And speaking of someone who just watched it recently, it still holds up. I love WrestleMania 19. I'm doing a rewatch. I started doing a rewatch a couple years ago where I went from the 2002 draft and then onward, and I'm going to go to like WrestleMania 21. So WrestleMania 19 has been so far the only WrestleMania I've seen from that rewatch. But man, does it hold up, dude. I love WrestleMania 19 so much. It's such a good WrestleMania. Speaking of good WrestleManias, WrestleMania 20. John Cena vs. Big Show, which is John Cena's first match at WrestleMania, which I have watched a lot as a kid. The Fatal 4-Way match with the tag titles is fun. Chris Jericho vs. Christian's good. Evolution vs. Rock and Sock, I think, is a dud, in my opinion. The Playboy Evening Gown match, that just speaks to my goonerness. The Cruiserweight Open, I found fun. Goldberg and Brock is a dud. The other Fatal 4-Way match for the tag titles, that's whatever. Victoria defeating Molly Holly Hair versus Hair, that's fun. And it's actually a decent match. Eddie Guerrero vs. Kurt Angle is great. The Undertaker vs. Kane is good. And then the triple threat, WrestleMania 20, goes up in B tier. Love WrestleMania 20. Another WrestleMania I love, WrestleMania 21. That's the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. Undertaker versus Randy Orton. The coronation of both Batista and John Cena. Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle. Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero going at each other. I think the only dud might be the sumo match. Or the women's title. But as a kid, I loved the sumo match for the novelty. WrestleMania 21 goes up there. I love WrestleMania 21. Like, that's just pretty much a great card. Another one I love, WrestleMania 22. WrestleMania 22, we have the Interpromotional Battle Royal on the pre-show, which I watched a lot as a kid. Big Show and Kane defeating Carlito and Chris Masters, whatever. The Money in the Bank match isn't as good as the first one, but it's decent. JBL and Chris Benoit is whatever. Edge vs. McFoley is great. The Boogeyman and Booker T thing they had during the whole show, I found funny. Mickey James vs. Chris Chalice is actually, decent, except for, we did the whole thing with Mickey licking her fingers and all that. Undertaker versus Mark Henry's whatever in a casket match. Shawn Michaels versus Vince McMahon's fun. Rey Mysterio wins the title. And John Cena vs. Triple H is pretty good. So WrestleMania 22, I'd say, goes below 20 in A tier. We are now entering the era, I think, of some really good manias. WrestleMania 23! John Cena vs. Shawn Michaels is great. Undertaker vs. Batista is great. Money in the Bank ladder match is good. I think Great Khali vs. Kane's a dud. Chris Benoit and MVP's whatever. It's okay, but not anything I go back to. The Originals versus the New Breed is pointless. Battle of the Billionaires, which hits different now. I love it more now. WrestleMania 20 goes up there. 23 goes up there. And yet those all grown up segments, which as a kid I found funny. WrestleMania 24, another one I used to watch a lot. JBL and Finlay have a match that is way better than the feud it's a part of. The Money in the Bank ladder match is great. Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair, that's iconic. The triple threat for the WWE title is good. Undertaker vs. Edge is a great main event. I think the Mayweather and Big Show match is one I don't like. And Kane squashes Chavo in 10 seconds or something. So I would still put it in A, but we're gonna go lower of A for WrestleMania 24. WrestleMania 25, the Money in the Bank ladder match again with CM Punk winning. We have Miss WrestleMania with Santina. Okay, Chris Jericho and the Legends. I mean, the Ricky Steamboat portion is the only good part. Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy is great, even though I think the wrong Hardy won. Rey Mysterio retiring JBL was funny. The Undertaker vs. Shawn Michaels, that's one of the best matches, period, of all time. The triple threat, John Cena, Big Show, and Edge is fine, and then Triple H and Randy Orton's match is a dud at the end. So I think WrestleMania 25 can go in B tier, because Undertaker and Shawn saves it. So that's where WrestleMania 25 goes. WrestleMania 26, this has Undertaker and Shawn again, which is great. The triple threat for Legacy I actually enjoy. I enjoy that one. Money in the Bank is alright. Triple H versus Sheamus is whatever. CM Punk and Rey Mysterio is whatever. Bret Hart versus Vince, oh god, that's on this show. Chris Jericho versus Edge, which I think Edge should have won. And then John Cena versus Batista. So yeah, WrestleMania 26 is actually not that good. I think I'm going to put it in C tier right there. That's where WrestleMania 26 goes. Even though it does have Shawn versus Taker. Shawn versus Taker saves it from what I can see. Yeah, whatever. WrestleMania 27. Oh god, I hate this freaking WrestleMania. I hate this WrestleMania. Yeah, I think about there. That's WrestleMania 27. Because it has Randy and Punk, which saves it. And that's about it for me. Because I don't like Cena Miz. I don't like Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole, for God's sakes. The Edge and Del Rio match is okay. Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio is okay. The 8-man tag with the Core and the other dudes, where they squash the Core, I don't care. Like I said, Punk versus Orton is actually good. I don't like Undertaker versus Triple H, because I think it's just 20 minutes of Triple H beating the crap out of Undertaker, which I get was the story, but it's not fun to watch. I'll put it in D, but it's high D. Which I never thought I'd say that, because I hated WrestleMania 27 for the longest time. But putting it with all the other ones, like this, I'm like, wow, there's actually worse WrestleManias than it. WrestleMania 28, The Rock and John Cena is iconic. Like, for a moment, it's iconic. Kane versus Orton is disappointing. Their match at Extreme Rules the following month is better. Big Show versus Cody was fun. Sheamus defeating This Is the Infamous 18 Seconds, yeah. Undertaker and Triple H was fantastic. Hell in a Cell match. Team Johnny vs. Team Teddy is BS. CM Punk and Jericho is fine. WrestleMania 28, I think you go high C. I might be tempted to put it in low B for Rock and Cena, which I think I'm gonna do. WrestleMania 29, I have a soft spot for WrestleMania 29. I do. The Miz beat Wade Barrett in his very weird face turn run. The Shield defeating 6 old guys was whatever. Mark Henry defeating Ryback's whatever. Team Hell No versus Big E and Dolph Ziggler I actually think is good. Von Doggo defeating Chris Jericho is whatever. That's stupid. Del Rio beating Swagger is whatever. Undertaker and Punk is great. Triple H versus Lesnar I actually like, even though the Raw... No, I think this is actually fine. Yeah, this is fine. I like this match. And John Cena vs. The Rock is not as good as the first one, but it's whatever, so you go low B as well. WrestleMania 30, the best opening and the best closing that they could have possibly had. Seriously. The Shield just squashing the Authorities, whatever. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal was fun. Cesaro won, and he should have been pushed to the moon, but they did Jack Dilly did. John Cena beating Bray Wyatt was the bad decision, even though I think the match was good. Brock Lesnar vs. Undertaker. Yeah, this is the breaking of the streak. And Undertaker was kind of concussed pretty much the whole match. And we had the invitational match for the Divas title, which they barely got like 7 minutes. But it goes B tier. Definitely B tier. I would say high B. WrestleMania 30. WrestleMania 31. This was the first WrestleMania I watched live. All the other WrestleManias. Well, no, I actually watched WrestleMania 25 and 26 were live as well. Yeah, 25 and 26 were live as well. But every other WrestleMania was like I watched after the fact on like cassettes and DVDs after. But 25 and 26 was live. 27 we didn't watch. 28 and 29 we didn't watch live. 30 we didn't watch live either. But 31, from this point on, I was watching WrestleManias live. So the pre-show Fatal 4-Way for the tag titles is whatever. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal is fun. This is where Damien Mizdow became Damien Sandow again. He should have won the Battle Royal. The ladder match for the IC belt's great. Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins is great because this has the RKO, the curb summon RKO, which is awesome. Triple H versus Sting was fun until Triple H won. That is BS. AJ Lee and Paige being the Bellas is whatever. John Cena versus Rusev was okay. The Undertaker being Bray Wyatt was okay. And then Seth cashes in at the end. WrestleMania 31 is great. I will put it right there. I'll put it there, actually. Yeah, that's WrestleMania 31. WrestleMania 32 is not the worst WrestleMania, but man, there's some bad. The main event sucks ass. Seriously, the main event sucks. But the ladder match for the IC title is good. Jericho for Styles, I think, is good. League of Nations being the New Day is whatever. Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose. I don't think it's a bad match. I think it's just lesser than what we wanted. The women's triple threat is, I think, overrated as all hell. Undertaker for Shane is boring until Shane jumps off the cage. The Battle Royal is there with Baron Corbin winning. Good for him. You have the whole Rock, John Cena bearing the Wyatt's thing, and then that. So I will put WrestleMania 32 high C. We'll put it here. That's a WrestleMania 32. High C. WrestleMania 33, much better. Much better. This is when my wrestling fandom was like peaking here, right? Because they had the brand split. I was getting into the whole brand split thing with Raw and SmackDown Live. I was starting to watch wrestling YouTube channels now at this point, so like more than I was before. Because before I was watching like the gaming wrestling YouTube channels. Now I was watching like actual wrestling YouTube channels, like What Culture, Wrestling with Regret, Grimm's Toy Show, What Culture, like. All them I was starting to watch. And then, of course, you know, CM Pulse and New Legacy Inc. were there as well. So my wrestling fandom was, like, peaking at this point. And I was starting to do universe mode, booking my own universe mode and stuff like that. Like, oh, yeah, my wrestling fandom was peaking at this point. So, Neville beat Austin Aries to retain the Cruiserweight title. Good for him. That match is actually good. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal has a crappy winner. Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin should have won. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Because they had a much better match the SmackDown after WrestleMania. It's like, why didn't you just do that at WrestleMania? AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon is way better than it should have been. Oh my god. Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, these guys did the best of what they could. I still think the match is fine, but they should have fought for the Universal title. The Fatal 4-Way for the Raw Women's title is whatever. The ladder match is great with the Hardys returning. Oh, the mixed tag with John and Nikki, whatever. That's weird to watch now. Seth Rollins and Triple H is good. Bret Orton beating Bray Wyatt is stupid. Bray should have won. Brock Lesnar beating Goldberg is great. Six-pack challenge for the women's title, I don't care. And Roman Reigns beat Undertaker, which sucks. So, yeah, B tier, high B. High B. I think it's WrestleMania 33. WrestleMania 34, not as good as WrestleMania 33. We had John Cena getting squashed by the Undertaker, right? I don't think anyone saw it coming. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns was boring as all hell in the main event. Matt Hardy winning the Battle Royal, I was fine with. Cedric Alexander beating Mustafa Ali to win the Cruiserweight title was fine. The Women's Battle Royal was whatever. Seth Rollins, Miz, and Finn Balor was a good opener. Charlotte beating Asuka sucks. That's a crappy decision. Jinder Mahal winning the US title. I loved. You can't hinder Jinder, baby. Kurt Angle and Ronda versus Steph and Triple H was way better than it should have been. The Bludgeon Brothers winning the tag titles was whatever. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon beating Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It was good to see Bryan back. That's what this was. Nia Jax beating Alexa Bliss, whatever, I don't care. AJ Styles beating Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke should have won. This led into the heel turn and them having the dud rivalry. This match was like way boring. Like we expected so much from this, and they gave us nothing. And then the rivalry revolved around kicking people in the dick. And Braun Strowman and Nicholas. Hell yeah. So yeah, B tier. Right there. WrestleMania 30 is better, yeah. Right there. That's WrestleMania 34. WrestleMania 35. This is, to this date, the last all-night WrestleMania. Tony Nese beating Buddy Murphy, I think, was a bad decision. Carmella, Women's Battle Royal, I don't care. Oh, yeah. The Major Brothers winning the tag titles was great. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal, I don't care. Seth Rollins beating Brock, whatever. I was hoping Brock retained. AJ Styles and Orton was, yeah, that's good. Leading up to it was good, but I think the match is kind of whatever. The Fatal 4 for the SmackDown Tag Belts was great for the 10-minute like rush it was. Shane McMahon and Miz was very good. I actually really liked that match. The Women's Fatal 4-Way, I don't care. Kofi Mania, I'm going to tell you right now, I was hoping Daniel Bryan squashed Kofi Mania. I don't agree with Kofi Mania. I think it's stupid. I don't agree with Kofi Mania one bit. Don't agree with it. Don't think it should have happened. Joe squashing Ray, whatever. Roman Reigns beating Drew, whatever. Triple H beating Batista, that's good. Baron Corbin retiring Kurt Angle will never not be stupid. Finn Balor beating Bobby, whatever. And then the main event. Yeah, this one's not that good, so we're gonna put you in high C. WrestleMania 36 during the pandemic, the first ever 2-night WrestleMania. Okay. I have rewatched this back recently in preparation for WrestleMania for WrestleMania 41, I rewatched this one. So we had Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross for the women's tag titles, whatever. Elias and Baron Corbin, that's again, whatever. Becky Lynch beating Shayna should have won. Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan. That is way boring for the 9 minutes. Like, seriously. Triple threat ladder match for the tag titles where it's just one guy from each team. That's fun. It's a ladder match. It's fun. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins is good. Braun Strowman beating Goldberg is super squashy. And Undertaker, AJ Boneyard is fantastic. Then we have night 2. Charlotte Flair beating Rhea. Stupid. Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley is good. That's okay. Otis defeating Ziggler. That was a moment. That was great. Edge and Randy Orton is one of the most boring matches I've ever watched in my life. The Street Profits beating Garza and Theories, whatever. Bailey, Fatal 5-Way Elimination, I don't care. Firefly Flathouse is fun, and Drew beating Brock is great. So WrestleMania 36 goes in to high C tier, better than 37. I mean, better than 35. Because the Boneyard, Firefly Funhouse is great, and Drew winning is really good. So you know what, because of that, I'm going to put a low B. Low B. WrestleMania 37, the main event is great. Roman Reigns stacking and packing. Bobby Lashley versus Drew to open is good. The tag team turmoil, I don't care for the women. Cesaro versus Seth was good. AJ and Omos, I don't care. Braun versus Shane, I don't care. The Bad Bunny tag, I don't care. Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, they never shut the fuck up about this match. That is 2 black women. How about focusing on the actual quality of the match instead of relegating them to their fucking race? Which, if you do that, the match is okay. Randy Orton and The Fiend. Oh, God, this is the box-like structure. Women's tag, I don't care. Kevin Owens and Sammy's good. Sheamus and Riddle's alright. Nigerian drum match. Rhea Ripley versus Asuka's okay. And then the main event. So, 37 I put in C. Right there. There we go. WrestleMania 38. This is Cody returning. Cody returned. Usos versus Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura, I don't care. Drew versus Corbin, I don't care. Miz and Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio, I don't care. Bianca Belair versus Becky, that's good. Cody returns, beating Seth, that's good. Charlotte beating Ronda, I don't care. And then Stone Cold coming back to face Kevin. RK Bro versus Street Profits and Alpha Academy, that's fun. Bobby Lashley beating Omos, I don't care. The Johnny and I don't like this match at all, I think it's stupid. Fatal 4 for women's tag, I don't care. Edge beating AJ is boring. It's boring, and it shouldn't have been. Oh, yeah, I just had the Pat McAfee Vince thing. That was stupid as all hell. We're gonna take all. Yeah, WrestleMania 38 is not a good card. It's not a good WrestleMania. I would put it freaking here. That's 38. 39? Cody not winning. Even though he wins the following year, I still think this is stupid. I do still think this is stupid. John Cena and Theory is disappointing. The showcase match, Fatal 4-Way Tag for those guys, way better than it should have been. Holy crap, was that good. Seth versus Logan, I don't care. 6-woman tag, I don't care. Ray beating Dom was good. Rhea Ripley beating Charlotte was cathartic. Kevin Owens and Sami beating the Usos was good. Brock Lesnar beating Omos was whatever, that's just a spectacle. The women's showcase was not as good as the men's. It sucked. Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew was match of the freaking show, dude. Bianca versus Asuka was good. Oh yeah, this is when Shane broke his quad. Edge and Finn was whatever, and then Roman being Cody. So I will put it in B tier, WrestleMania 39. Overall, I say about here is 39. And then we can move on to 40. Which had Cody finishing the story, thank God. The main event of night 1, the tag match where you could see The Rock wrestle, was fun. Rhea Ripley beating Becky was good. The 6-pack tag ladder match was good. Rey and Andrade beating Santos and Dom was fun. Jay and Jimmy sucked ass. 6-woman tag, don't care. Sammy beating Gunther. I still think Sammy was the wrong person to beat Gunther. Even though the match was good, I still think Sammy was the wrong person. Drew vs. Seth was fine. That's good. And then the cash-in, the Pride. Oh my god, you remember the Pride? Philadelphia Street Fight was whatever. LA Knight vs. AJ was fun. The triple threat match for the US title. I hate giving Logan credit, but it was good. Bayley beating Io is overrated. WrestleMania 40 is good. I will put that in A tier. About there. That's WrestleMania 40. No, you know what? We'll put WrestleMania. And then 41, the most recent WrestleMania, it literally just happened. So, putting it in perspective, Night 1 is a Raw. It's just an episode of Raw with a great main event. So, Jey Uso beating Gunther sucks ass. I hate Jey Uso. I hate the Yee gimmick. This is stupid. The New Day beating the War Raiders, that's a Raw match. Jade Cargill beating Naomi, that's a SmackDown match. Jacob Fatu beating LA Knight, that's a SmackDown match. Grande Americano beating Rey Fenix, that's a Raw match. Tiffany Stratton beating Charlotte. That one actually felt like a WrestleMania match, even though I don't think it's that good. And then the Triple Threat was great. Night 2, Io beating Bianca and Rhea, that's great. That match was awesome. Drew beating Damian Priest, good for Drew, alright. Dominic beating the Fatal 4 for the IC belt was good. Randy beating Joe Hendry was a fun moment, even though Joe kind of got me look like a dumbass. Logan Paul versus AJ, I don't care. Tag match was Becky's return, was literally all this was for. And then John Cena beating Cody was disappointing. I mean, here's the thing. A lot of the results are the right ones. It's just the execution of it was poor. So WrestleMania 41 is going to go in B tier. It's going to go like around here. Like, I'll put it there. That's 41. It's a B. It's a B. But there we go. That is me ranking WrestleManias. So, the best WrestleManias are 17 and 19. Good WrestleManias to watch. Like, you're not going to have a bad time watching them. Is 21, 20, 23, 22, 40, 31, 18, 24. WrestleManias that are just kind of okay, whatever. You can watch them if you want, but you're not gaining much from them. We got 33, 30, 34, 25, 16, 39, 41, 26, 28, 29, and 36. And then all these other ones, like C lower, don't waste your time. Like D, definitely don't waste your time with any of these ones. C, I mean, you can watch them if you want, but they're really not that good. Is all those ones. But there we go. That is my definitive WrestleMania ranking. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know why you think 41 is actually a secret masterpiece or whatever in the comments down below. And I will see you guys on next time.